Relentless is the new fantasy adventure game from Adeline Software and Electronic Arts, and
It's not fantasy, it's science fiction.
what do you mean it's science fiction? The main character is a magician on a quest.
Yeah, but it all takes place on an alien world and there's lots of guns and stuff.
Well, whatever Relentless is, it's definitely an adventure, and it's definitely fun. The story takes place on the planet Twin Sun, where several strange races live, including the Rabby Bunnies, the Grobos, and the Quetches.
Or if you prefer, the big rabbits, the squat elephants, and the guys with ponytails.
Life was pastoral and peaceful on this world, until the ambitious Dr. Funfrock took over the government, declared martial law, and moved everybody to the southern hemisphere.
The player is a Quetch named Twin Sen with an E, not to be confused with the planet Twin Sun with a U.
Twinsen has been dreaming that the world will be destroyed if he does not seek out the goddess Sendel and try to fulfill the timeless legend. Unfortunately, one of the first things that Dr. Funfrock did when he took over was to declare it illegal to talk about the legend.
So, when the game starts out, Twin Sen is in the asylum and has to escape.
We might as well say it now. The most impressive thing about this game is the character movement, which we unfortunately can't show you. Just trust us. Smooth is too rough a word.
At least you can see how nicely the 3D effect works. Everything is shaded and gorgeous. In many ways, the actual gameplay looks even better than the cutscenes. That's just plain weird.
Gameplay is very simple. You use your arrow keys for moving around in one of 4 modes that you choose from this pop-up menu. Either normal, athletic, which lets you run and jump, aggressive for hand-to-hand combat, or discreet for sneaking around and hiding.
The spacebar serves as the command for special actions ranging from talking to your neighbors to searching through flower pots for spare change.
This visual simplicity allows for full-screen gameplay without a distracting icon bar. There's not even a cursor because the mouse is never used. Everything is keyboard-based, but the commands are laid out so that you'll hardly have to look at the keyboard.
Well, there is a drawback to that simplicity, and it's really the biggest gripe I have about the game. The game saves itself at critical points rather than the player having to do it. Now, that may sound like a good thing, but if you get zapped by a particular weapon, it takes you all the way back to the beginning of the game.
And suddenly, surprise, surprise, that's where it saves your game. It is possible to make an extra copy of a saved game in case this happens to the active save file, but it's a bit of a pain in the neck. There's nothing wrong with an autosave feature, but you should be able to toggle the manual without having to go all the way back to the setup screen.
But, well, it's a little inconvenient to keep your game saved where you want it. This is still really a great play.
The puzzles are pretty simple, so anyone can eventually make it through. And if you do get taken back to jail, it affects your interactions, but you can still win.
You can choose between digital speech, written text, or both during gameplay, but the choice has to be made back at the setup screen before the game starts. It's all in the name of not distracting you from the story with a bunch of different options. But I don't think a toggle hotkey would have been distracting.
No, they could have done better on some of the options, but there's no faulting them on the sound. There's even stereo effects that come into play when a character walks across the screen. Cool stuff. Relentless is a very appealing piece of work that should attract a wide variety of players.